trying to see what it says on there. It doesn't really tell me anything. Just that we're halfway through the battery, which means this thing's been running for a couple of hours.
Yeah, it's been a good afternoon. I'm glad you were able to stop by.
Oh yeah, we got 40 minutes on this clip alone.
Yeah, it was 6 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 6:40 now. The wife should be showing up pretty soon. So we're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon, and we should give a tour of Tom's workstation here, because I see... I'm a moderator, Scuttle Model Addict. Most of you know that. And we got a thread on there that says, show us your man cave. And I see lots of different photos of people's workspaces. And a lot of these guys have huge amounts of room for their workspaces. Tom doesn't. He's got a compact little area to work in. And this would be a good way of seeing that you don't need this huge work area.
Yeah.
On my early videos, I worked on a desk about this big.
Yeah, me too, for my very first ones.
And that's where I worked. I did my painting and everything on that desk. If I had something large, I went to the kitchen table. I can't do that anymore. I'm married. Those of you guys that are married, try it. See what happens. You know you don't paint in the wife's domain. You have your own domain for that. But he's got a nice compact work area here. I take it you do electronics back there?
Yeah, the electronics there. And
working here.
Gluing and stuff here. And now that I've got this paint booth there. Basically, years and years ago, the way I had my computer set up, one of my friends said, oh, it looks like you got a command center there, like you're on the Enterprise. And I was like, you know, that's kind of right, the way I had everything around. So that's been a design philosophy that I've tried to incorporate, where I can be working here on this, I can spin around here and I'm on the electronics. Right there I've got the paint. Pretty much everything is within reach. X-Acto blade right there.
Without moving very far.
Without moving. So little stuff there all nicked around. And it's been a process over the years to really figure it out. And it changes all the time. And,
of course.
You know, this desk used to be over there when I had the old paint booth, if I could have called it an old paint booth, against the wall.
The cardboard
there.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a fan in it. Let me get the camera off here. Okay.
Big mess.
Anyhow, spray booth. Pegboard in the back.
So one big modification that from mine that John doesn't have, I think, is probably this
I don't have that.
booth right there.
I don't have a shield over the front that I should put up.
So I found it actually helps. I've had
Well, when you're having paint cure, you put that over, you don't get cat hair in your paint.
or dust, and I've actually had spray paint blast out back at me because I did it so forcefully that it hit the window instead of my face. Which was a nice thing. And then keeping this at different heights. Yeah, if I'm sitting here, it's very easy to run my hands underneath.
Like a hazmat boot.
Yeah, exactly.
I did chemistry lab. I had a hazmat. I played with the hood boot.
That was exactly my idea behind this.
Right.
Was
That's
my old
not
chemistry.
a bad idea. Putting that on there like that.
And the magnets help out.
Right.
And of course I moved my fan up to the top corner there.
Right. You're pulling air upwards.
I think part of the problem I was having is that because I had the filter directly against the fan intake and there's so little depth in here.
I don't.
No?
My filter's a good 3 or 4 inches from the fan air intake.
Okay.
So there's going through the filter easily before it gets there.
Yeah. I think
And
that
the
was
filter acts as a dispersion. The pegboard and the filter both disperse the air. I'm losing track of this word, but I think you guys understand what I mean.
Yeah.
So the air is pulling more evenly through the spray booth.
Yeah. I think if I had gone a little deeper on this, that would have been enough of a mix area.
Right.
So now that I've got it up in that corner, it has the entire booth.
Right. And if you put your little window up like you were showing a minute ago, you're okay.
Yeah.
Because the air is flowing in here and going up and out.
Yeah. Yeah, I can keep like a stick of incense this far away from it and it still gets drawn in. So
Right.
I'm still getting a few fumes here and there, but
I see something I wanted to ask about.
Yeah?
You've got a paint shaker over there.
paint checker?
Shaker.
Oh, a shaker, yeah. This is a Robarts.
Yeah, I have one. I never use it.
Really?
Never.
I love that thing.
I never use it. Well, to me, it has wide mouth bottles. I bought a paint stirrer.
Oh, yeah.
I stick it in there and turn it on, and it stirs the paint. And I pull it out, and I put it in alcohol and turn it on, and it cleans it.
I had been using one of those on tester bottles, and those are just too small to...
Right. You have to have a paint shaker with tester.
And the Alclads does a nice job on too.
I have not tried that on Alclads, but the Alclads shake up so easily, it's not really an issue. Okay, and then we have the fiber optic spool over here.
Yeah, so the fiber optics, LEDs, heat shrink, everything I need to basically work on the electronics here. Some basic tools on the slide drawer there.
Right.
Scissors, cutters, blades, so on.
And
then
Jupiter 2 is lit up.
Putties and things under there.
So bring the camera in. Oops. Oh, and it goes off.
It's, I shouldn't have touched it. There we go.
There we go. The control board.
Let's get a look through there. That's usually a...
Oh, I didn't see that earlier. The displays above the freezer tubes.
Yeah.
I didn't see those earlier.
So
those look nice.
A lot of people just run all those through one sequencer, so they're all blinking on and off at the same time.
I know.
And I think that's 3 sequencers right there powering it.
Right.
And it gives it a much more subtle effect.
It's more random. Much more random.
There's still some timings where they match up with each other, but...
It's not going to be very much.
Yeah.
I want to see this wall.
Okay.
Well, I've seen it. Tom showed it to me earlier, before we started videoing. Whole bunch of LEDs in there.
Yeah, 40-something, 50-something. What, 3 times 6 times 2
You're not going to get that effect by doing fiber.
No.
No.
Nor a single LED, which is another common trick people do on
Yeah,
that.
it's just not going to look that way.
And of course the bottom spaghetti mess.
Looks like the bottom of my Mercury 9. It really does. Which I almost brought out here for some reason. I never would have survived the trip. The airplane people are not nice to stuff.
Yeah.
So there's the electronics bench. We've already seen this work over here. The Dremel press, do you actually use that?
Yeah, definitely here and there. It's definitely a key tool when I've needed it.
I have one. It's still in the box.
Yeah, there are times when you just need to drill straight down. And
I have a drill press in the garage, so that's might be why.
When I was working on the Star Destroyer, for example, and I had those walls to do, the trenches, that went on there. I was like, bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh, I could see that speeding that up a lot.
Yeah. Doing that by hand, I wouldn't have gotten it lined up. Or...
Yeah, speaking of another thing, it's your fault. The Tamiya handy drill.
Oh, yeah. Right there, baby.
That's your fault. That is one of the best things for drilling holes in plastic I've ever come across.
Looks like I need new batteries. But yeah, I keep that on magnets, so it goes right there.
Right, my workbench is metal now. I can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Tamiya handy drill, I blame you for that.
Oh, thank you. That's definitely a good one to be blamed
Yeah, it is a very good little tool for drilling holes in plastic. My problem with the Dremel is it spins too fast.
Yeah, it melts the plastic.
Even the handheld Dremels, the new battery-operated ones, still spin too fast. They melt instead of drill.
Yeah, I wouldn't give that up for almost anything.
No.
The Dremel's good for what it does, and the Tamiya drill is good for what it does, and neither do the two really overlap at all.
Exactly. And then we got his storage bins over here.
Yeah, basic stuff. Try to keep everything kind of organized.
Right.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, I do. That's part of the reason why I bought that big chest of drawers, and I need to go through and weed out duplicates. Get rid of stuff I'm just not using.
Yeah.
I got plenty of stuff I'm not using properly. I know I do.
That's probably the very last important tool that I have in the office here. Fire extinguisher.
I don't remember who got me into that, but I've got a fire extinguisher in my office, in mine too.
Safety first. We had a fire here back in February. It was having a fire extinguisher here that kept the whole building from going down.
Wow.
It was bad.
Wow. I better check that message because it's probably the wife sitting out front going, "We're here.
See you Thursday, everybody."
See you Thursday, yeah? We are outside. She is here.
Okay.
So time to stop videotaping.
Hey, we'll see you guys Thursday at the big surprise, and thanks for stopping by. It's good to see you, John.
Good to see you too, Tom.
And here are a few YouTube channels that might interest you. As always, the Scale Model Addict. Scott Gervan brings you his own work, and the Scale Model Addict Forum and Scale Model Addict Magazine. Dr. Faust's The Painting Clinic. Check out Tony for miniatures and model painting. What time is it? It's cranky time. With his lab rat Ori assistant Igor, Dr. Cranky brings you the best in rats, rods, and rust. Steve Neal's Garage with Rosie the Wonder Dog, Mary, and Xena, featuring feature film props, restorations, and scale model artistry. Scott Alexander of Atomic City Models, specializing in 2001: A Space Odyssey model recreations and a few other notable genre pieces as well. Braddock 001, whether a 1-to-1 scale Borg sleep station, droids of any make or model, or even popular superhero armor or any kind of sculpture, look to Brad Carpenter to bring it. And for the trials, tribulations, and tales of my car Red 2 and its droid lemons, check in on Gears McTinkersome. Bad Grendels for fine model work, timer chips, and electronics knowledge. The ModelManTom channel would like to thank the following for their sponsorship. Elliot Brown of Kingston Vacuum Works, featuring Fedoratron.com and WarmPlastic.com. Lighting for extraordinary modelers, and vacuum forming tables for designers, modelers, and engineers. Kingston Vacuum Works covers it all. Paul at thefiberopticstore.com, now presenting the beta version of its new site, thefiberopticprojects.com, for an exceptional selection and great prices of fiber optics of all sizes and quantities. Thefiberopticstore.com. Carpenter Creations. If you can dream it, he can make it. Brad and Carpenter, science fiction artistes. From full-scale Borg cubicles or droid displays of all kinds. Carpenter Creations. Steve Neal's Garage. Props and models for motion picture and discerning collectors, as well as prosthetic makeup and CG. Contact Steve through stevenealsgarage.com. Model reviews from Round 2 Models, AMT, MPC, Polar Lights, and Lindbergh. Scale Model Addict Magazine. Issue 3 now available. Issue number 4 is in the works. The Orbital Defense Engineering Commission, a 2001: A Space Odyssey specific forum for scale model kits, reviews, news, and discussion. Odec.proboards.com. More than just talk, hobbytalk.com, a forum for every hobby. And for the finest reference collection of feature film studio props and miniatures and models, Modelers, Miniatures, and Magic at modelermagic.com.